Tonight on Dawn, freaked out about getting the flu? Celebrity nutritionist Katie Cavuto Boyle is here in the house with power foods that fight the dreaded virus. First Lady Michelle Obama's sexy red carpet style and the bang craze she started. But are they real? Plus, desperate for a good night's sleep? Surefire tips on what to do. That's all next on Dawn. Hi, good to have you here tonight, Dawn Stensland-Menti. You may notice that we're not a new Dawn anymore because we're not new. So it's just Dawn, and I'm just talking about, I think, what everybody's talking about, which is the flu and why none of us want to get it, right? The flu, as you know, has been making national headlines, and it is a hot topic, especially if you have kids. Nobody wants to get it. But there is something else we can do besides getting that flu shot. I'm talking about building your immune system with the right power foods. And I'm here with registered dietitian and personal chef and owner of Healthy Bites, Katie Cavuto Boyle. I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you. It's really great to be here.
You know, I love this because, yes, I had my flu shot. My kids get the nasal
Right.
flu mist. My little boys, Michael and David,
It's a lot
6 and
easier
8.
than
You
the
have
shot.
a 20-month-old.
Yes.
We hate shots. But beyond that, it's only about 60-some% effective.
It's a lot that kind of slips by.
So let's talk about mushrooms.
Yeah. And food is medicine. We forget that. What we eat can really affect our health and can promote our immune function. So mushrooms, they've been in the holistic medicine cabinet for thousands of years, if we think about it. Some of the best mushrooms on the market, shiitakes, they really top the list from their nutritive value. And they're really easy to incorporate into your everyday diet. We've just sauteed some shiitake mushrooms with a little bit of ginger and garlic. And we know, we've heard garlic, but ginger is also really, really great. Do you use ginger in your house?
I love ginger, and the nice thing is my kids love ginger and garlic. And we should say we didn't even really focus on the garlic because that's sort of, everybody knows garlic is Mother Nature's antibiotic. So
Exactly.
that's a given. But I think the ginger root, especially from the root, a whole food, why is that so good?
So good. Can actually soothe a sore throat, help an upset stomach. We know that that stomach bug is
Think
going
of ginger
around.
ale,
Exactly,
right?
ginger ale. It actually can lower a fever, reduce pain, and it's really easy to incorporate into your diet from just taking a fresh piece of ginger and putting it into tea. Something I actually love is you can take this fresh ginger root, scrape it with a spoon, store it in your freezer, and then anytime you need it, just take a little piece off, grate it into a dish, or put it into a cup of tea. Do you drink tea?
I do. I love tea. And that ginger's, that's a great tip, to put that in the freezer. I never thought of that.
Well, because you
want
buy
fresh.
the big root and then all of a sudden you're not
And then it
using
goes
the
to
rest of it,
waste.
so it's a great way to keep it in the house.
But
Exactly.
But Kitty, I love the hot teas. I love the Tazos.
Yeah.
And you know, for me, I love the passion because that, you know, a lot of times your kids, if you get, especially you don't want caffeine with
Exactly,
the kids.
yeah.
But you can get your kids to start
Well,
liking
it has this
tea.
beautiful fruit flavor. It's naturally sweet, which is nice. I actually like steeping some of the fruitier teas in a pitcher of water and keeping them cold, and it's an alternative to juice. You don't need to add any sugar. It has a lot of flavor, and we know teas, black teas, white teas, green teas, really, really rich in antioxidants. And plus, if you have a cold, what's better than a hot cup of tea to kind of
feels so
just make
good.
you feel warm and cozy?
Yeah, it's not just the traditional lemon tea.
Exactly.
You can really mix it up
Oh my gosh,
nowadays.
the tea market is so big. There's such a variety, and it's really fun because you never have to have the same tea twice.
Yeah, I believe that. And let's talk about, this is, you know, my little
Yes.
boys, my Michael, who's an 8-year-old.
They love their
People get-
berries?
Well, they love their berries because Michael doesn't eat meat. So I can't keep fruit in my house. And
Well, that's a good problem to have,
It
though,
is, it
eating too
is.
much fruit.
so this is an added benefit. You
Berries
know?
can be a little bit tougher to get in the winter. We've talked about this a little bit. I think they are something important to do organic because they tend to be a dirtier food. So frozen berries in the winter are a really good option. But berries, they're packed with vitamin C. And vitamin C, people think that it can actually prevent a cold or the flu. It can actually prevent it, but multiple studies have shown that vitamin C can reduce the duration of a cold and actually reduce the severity of your symptoms. So that's a really good reason to incorporate things like this into your diet. Also, peppers. Bell peppers are an excellent source of vitamin C, and I think people always think citrus, and your berries and your peppers are actually a little bit better. And really, you know, you can put them into a smoothie smoothie if we're talking the frozen fruit, and we can also incorporate them into, you know, hot oatmeal. There's so many ways that we can get berries into our diet.
Well, and that's something that, you know, because I've read, I know you've read because you're a nutritionist, all the studies that say the pesticides they found and the government actually found them on some strawberries, so especially for children. You know, don't give them the strawberries unless they're organic. So
they are a dirtier food. You know, are you familiar with the Dirty Dozen list? It's a great, so you can just Google search Dirty Dozen. It's a list of the foods that have the highest residuals of pesticides. Berries tend to be up there. It's anything that we're eating the whole thing. Citrus, we're taking that outer husk off, so it's not as important. We can do that conventional, but things like apples and berries and our lettuces and greens, they tend to have more pesticides. So if you can do organic, then that is a good place to kind of make that upgrade.
Or grow them yourself and freeze them, or you can buy them, obviously this time of year, you can buy them frozen organic.
Which is
and then make the smoothie
a
with a
great
little
healthy
ginger.
upgrade to fresh, exactly.
And why do you say berries, you have berries here? Is it because oranges and citrus are a given, or because you think these are better?
Because I think that oranges and citrus are a given, and there's other foods that are just as high in vitamin C that we don't necessarily think are. Plus, berries, there was just a big study that came out that berries have been shown to actually reduce the risk of heart disease in women. That's really current in the news right now, so I think it's something else. You know, one more reason that food is medicine, which I think is phenomenal.
Let's get to the
spices. This is actually a trend for this year. Spices are becoming a lot more popular. I know that you love cooking healthy.
I do.
And we always try to find ways that we can add more flavor without adding a lot of fat or calories or sodium for that fact. Spices are an excellent way to build flavors, and I don't think that everyone's really as comfortable with them as they should be. So we have some great spices here. We're talking just like the ginger, antifungal, antibacterial, antimicrobial. They have all of these amazing medicinal properties. Cinnamon can actually be an appetite stimulant, so we recommend it a lot for people going through like chemotherapy and stuff like that, because it can help with digestion, stimulate your appetite. I mean, this is your medicine cabinet, and it's kind of fun to think of your spice cabinet as something that can be that medicinal, and it's easy. We actually took
more natural.
Of course, more natural. And we actually took some chickpeas and we just tossed them in some smoked paprika, and even the dried herbs have medicinal properties as well. Roasted them in the oven for a little while. It's a crunchy, healthy snack, and it's a great way to incorporate some of these spices into your diet.
I love it. You're speaking my language, Katie. And you know, Katie is going to come back. You're going to stay with us. You're going to come back in a little bit later in the show to talk about foods that help you sleep like a baby. It's going to be good. But up next, we're going to switch it up because she is the most powerful, stylish woman in the world. I'm talking, of course, about, there she is, First Lady Michelle Obama. Drop dead, date night, inaugural red gown. Look at her, how she is impacting women and the way we dress.